to the Now Morning Show. Now at 4 p.m. this afternoon, the 7th edition of the Commonwealth Youth Games opens at the Hazley Crawford Stadium, bringing Trinidad and Tobago 2023 to life. The athletes and those in attendance will be moving to a theme song reminding them to stay ready. I've been playing it and you're hearing it in the background. And the team behind the music, Freetown Collective, sat down with Kent to let him know a little bit more about the inspiration behind the song.
All right, gentlemen, thanks again for joining me this morning. Tell me, what does it mean to you to come up with the theme song for the biggest sporting event that is to be hosted by Trinidad and Tobago?
For artists like us, being given the opportunity to do things like this on a national, international level, but just also the idea of doing something for our games. Grew up hearing all these amazing songs for the Olympics and for the World Cup and whatever, and that's one of the dreams that we have as artists. Our music, we wanted to spread in different ways, and this definitely is one of the ways that we want to see our music being used, to uplift people, especially for the Commonwealth Youth Games, because these are the future stars of tomorrow. These are the ones who are going to take these sports forward. So to be able to create songs to inspire them, that's what we want to do.
Just accepting the challenge to let the world hear how we hear ourselves too. It sounds simple, but when you begin to write, you realize just how much outside influence is inside of your head and how to purge that out and be yourself. So this was really an extreme exercise in us being ourselves.
How did you come up with the idea for the song in particular?
This was a bit of a different process in terms of songwriting. He sent me a YouTube video of a reel of the past games, kind of look at and see, to get a feel of what it is we're writing for, because you want your words to match the energy and the feel and the imagery. Then I went on YouTube and started looking at the 50 greatest sporting moments and that kind of stuff, and then the 20 greatest songs that were ever written for games and that kind of stuff, and just listening and acclimatizing myself with the feel of songs that happen for these games. Because it's not like writing just a normal song about your own feelings or whatever. You add that to it, obviously, but you want to get something that has this large feel. Right, you want to move people, and it's interesting because you want to move people on a big level, but you also want an individual starting a race to have this in their head and be able to be moved by that. So it's a song that has to be very personal, but also can stretch and touch everybody.
One of the things our music does in the first place is inspire movement.
Yeah.
How easy, was that part of it for based on what we have as Trinidad and Tobago culture?
And that was definitely one of the challenges. And we worked very closely with the representatives of the Commonwealth Youth Games to get a sense of the audience that they wanted this song to resonate with. And it's youth. So, low frequencies, bass. We are people of rhythm. We are people of movement. So rhythm sections. Just understanding that in the Caribbean, there's a dance to how we live, how we walk, how we talk, how we sing, how we relate to each other, and finding a way to have those elements musically have a conversation with the words in the song.
And also making the song, I guess, unique to Trinidad and Tobago as well was important.
Yes, it is. Well, unique to us. And if it is unique to us, we can't help being from Trinidad and Tobago, so it will translate.
Meshing sport and culture, how important do you see that, not just for the Commonwealth Youth Games, but for Trinidad and Tobago?
It's same people. I don't think that there are people who are purely interested in sport, and then that's a set by itself, and there's another set of people purely interested in culture. As a people, these are separate expressions that we have that ties into our entire identity. And we've seen what sporting highlights have done for us as a culture and as a people. It has really allowed us to galvanize ourselves in these singular moments and remind ourselves of how unique our culture is, but just how resilient we are as a people. And for us, the more frequently we can remind ourselves of this, as the more we can entrench ourselves in our identity and in our culture. Games and competitions are important to the human race as a species to remind us of what we are able to accomplish. And when young people are able to see and conceptualize that what was once impossible as an idea is possible with work and dedication, then that doesn't only break a barrier in their mind, but it breaks barriers in the minds of their family who support them, their coaches who support them, their siblings, the people in their neighborhoods. And there's just this trickle-down effect that is so magical. It would take a lot for something else to impact a young mind the way that would.
Yeah, it's like in sport and even in culture, but in sport, before Usain Bolt ran what he ran, nobody could. Like, it seemed like it was impossible, and then he did it. And then you see all these people approaching. You know what I mean? And that happens all the time in everything. We don't believe that the leap is possible until someone makes the leap. And, things like this offer the opportunity for great leaps, in human strides.
I can't remember which brand it is, but I know of between Puma or Adidas. The what are their mottos is impossible is nothing.
Adidas.
We're gonna say Adidas.
Yeah. So I guess that is what you all want for something like this.
Yeah, that's what we want for our nation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think, today being Emancipation Day is a very fitting thing. I mean, if we want to use that slogan for anything, it's for our ancestors. Impossible is nothing. You know what I mean? We were surrounded in a world that hated us. In many ways, still are, And look at us, thriving. You know what I mean? You and I and all of us are not supposed to be here. This was not the intention of the people who had us where they had us for the last 300 years. But we're here. You know what I mean? And dominating on every level in the world and showing that we exist and we exist powerfully. You know what I mean? So moments like this are very important for us as people.
And as we wrap, gentlemen, as persons who have represented Trinidad and Tobago on the international stage and done well yourselves, tell me, what would you want for the legacy of these games to be?
Yeah, our philosophy from the beginning has been, all we want is people to believe in themselves. One, to know yourself, and once you get to know who that self is, to believe in that self. You know what I mean? Because that's when impossible becomes nothing. There's no such thing as impossible when you know yourself and you believe in yourself, because you apply yourself to whatever it is you want, and ultimately you will achieve.
An inspirational conversation there with Freetown Collective, taking that leap and believing in yourself. Perfectly matching, of course, the launch of the Commonwealth Youth Games that are taking place in Trinidad and Tobago from 4 p.m. this afternoon. That song is going to continue to inspire not just athletes, and I think not just the young ones, but I think also the adults alike. What do you all think?
I mean, I bias, so.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Kimberly, what do you think?
I can't stop singing the opening. I was just telling Rocker, you can't just give me the oh, I want to hear I have a dream. Of course, that's all I know, Mohammed. But I have about 4 to 11 days. Between the 4th and the 11th, I'll learn it. But I love the song. Since I heard it, that kind of chant, it's almost like a chant, like Trinbago coming, Trinbago have this thing. We have it in the palm of our hands, And we've been speaking to the athletes, at least a few of them, the triathletes in particular, over the course of last week, and of course into this week, and they seem ready. Our team seems ready. Trinbago seems ready, not just to host, but to show the amazing talent that we have here. So we are about to see some greatness in TNT from the 4th to the 11th.
Oh, yes, we are.
I mean, 71 countries coming to show off, right?
Listen.
And the thing is, for me, is that, it's always a good measuring stick to see where you actually are, because, you think that you're training so hard and you're doing the most, and then, you check out somebody's competition and you say, wait, you might have to work a little bit harder.
Just a little bit.
And that motivates the team and the athletes to push even further. And then after that, we get a chance now to actually compete and see where you stand in the rankings. and from there we can adjust and tweak and make improvements if we need to,
Yeah.
or we can continue on the path that we're on and say, all right, we know we're working towards greatness and success.
Yeah.
So I look forward to the games. I think it'll be a nice showcase of talent and competition that would hopefully bring forward some bestness.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
All right, guys, let's take a quick break and come back with more inside the Now Morning Show. When we come back, we talk to the man with the voice that I can't
He
pretend
tried it.
to
He tried
replicate.
it. He tried.
I can't do it. But he'll do it when he come back. So let me take that.